What's up, y'all? Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been making YouTube videos, and it's a nice place to vent, nice place to rant, nice place to get the mind going. As you know, I'm 30 years old. There's the male loneliness epidemic. Not a lot of people have a lot of friends. Not a lot of people have a lot of people to talk to. I've been trying to make a community, a Reddit, a Discord, and all that stuff. Join up if you want. But I just noticed, brother, like, and I feel it a little bit sometimes when I'm recording and stuff. Not all the time, but it's very rare. Like, when I have a hot streak of days, a hot streak of ideas, and as we know, as we make ideas, a lot of neural activity, a lot of neural connections, a lot of dopamine and stuff, and those are trigger points for my illness, my mental health. Um, it's weird, brother, but I refuse to go under the guise that sanity will determine my biology. I refuse to believe that in the other way around, biology will not determine my sanity, right? Specifically that I don't want to live in a world where if I try to be smart, if I try to think outside the box, if I try to be creative, and this is with no drugs or anything, that I get sick and then I give up and then I start saying, you know what, I'll just turn to chat GPT, I'll just turn to normal complacent content, I'll just turn into a gaming streamer, and I'll turn off my mind. I am not here to turn off my mind and run away from emotions, run away from the idea of free thought. I'll see where free thought takes me. But I have a thing, right? And it's religious psychosis, religious schizophrenia. Whenever I talk about God or like reincarnation or stuff like that, I end up getting sick. I get a little bit sick in the mind. Not everything is there, and it takes sometimes like 1, 2 days to get back to normal. And I really understand why, like, they said I'm not allowed to work, I'm not allowed to, make income and stuff, because it's so, like, unstable or unstable, whatever the word is. It's so unstable and unpredictable, right? And I told you guys, right? I made a couple of videos saying that I was the top performer in my company, and I had bipolar disorder. Now, sometimes in bipolar disorder, we have peaks of mania, and we start overdoing work. We start overdoing ourselves. We start overworking. I was doing the work of 3 to 4 employees. They called me the superstar. I got a nice bonus at the end of the year. Crazy shit was going on. But doing that repetitively every day in an office job, which I didn't really mind that much because on the other side, for dopamine purposes, I was watching TV on my second monitor, Netflix. But I was able to manage it, right? And I would only use it for like little breaks here and there, and I'd have the show running in the background, just with subtitles and stuff, so I can watch the show. I realized that I could be a genius, but I'm stunted. And I want you guys to go out there who are normal and able bodied and your mind is perfect to go out there and read a book. Go out there and try. Go out there and learn stuff. I have a holy book, for example, the Bhagavad Gita, and I talk about you guys should read it. And I've listened to audiobooks of it. I've watched visuals of it. But every time I get super religious, I get sick. And it's a little bit weird describing psychosis, but because I had religious psychosis because I did believe that I was under the guise of black magic. But it's very fucking weird, guys. It's very weird. And I look to the world, I look to God, and I say, why do I get sick when I think about God? Like, is there something I'm missing here? Like, is this a side quest? Is just like retribution? And like, where's my God? Like, why is my God helping me right now? And at the end of the day, bro, I realize that it's karma. And I have to deal with this karma, even though it might be black magic or whatever the fuck it is. It might be karma, it might be drug use, maybe whatever. It might be that karma, and I have to live with this until I die. And every time I get reaffirmations of me being ill, I just come to the terms that I only have 20 to 30 years left to live, and I'm like, fuck, brother. 20 to 30 years. Other men have 40 to 50 years. They die at like 80, 90 years old, maybe even 100 years old. And they can do so much more things. But me, I can, I'm gonna die around 40, around 50 to 60 years old, right? And I'm not gonna go on a health tip. I'm not gonna go out to start working out and bettering myself and stuff like that, self improvement. I don't believe in that stuff. So this also attunes to the point that I'm allergic to other people's philosophy, right? And academic books, right? So if I start applying myself a lot and getting my mind thinking, I fall ill. I fall ill, and that's very disappointing. The mind is shutting down, but the body is willing, right? I'm willing. And the conscious part of me is also willing, but the mind is shutting down, brother. And I just want to tell you guys, enjoy the time that I'm here. I will try my best to be smart. I will try my best to apply myself. I will try my best to motivate you. I will try my best to get you out of depression. I will try my best to do many great things, right? Many great projects, many great things. My time is limited. And I come to terms with it, and it's not like such a horrible thing to live and die. And I have 30 years. Some people, when they go to the doctors, they find out they have cancer or something, and they only have like a few months to live or a few years to live. I have 20 to 30 years. On the good side. On the good side, on the average side. But let's try to aim for 60 to 70. You know what I mean? But 50 years old is not a bad life. It's not a bad life. I've got to experience what it's like to be a human being. I've got to live my life. I've got to see what other people go through, and I've got to see the cruel world of the maturity of people and how fake they are, and that's the biggest shocker to me. So when I'm in heaven and everything's good, God cleans me up and stuff. I'm gonna be quite an introspective person with this paradigm shift, or with this paradigm, and I hope it shifts in the future, in the far, far future, because holy shit, brother! Like once I get back to normal, and I'm talking post death, talking about like rebirth and like reincarnation. I don't think I'm gonna be here for that because I started my journey as an apostle, and I would write scripture all the time. I don't I was very God focused. Every day I'd write scripture and stuff, and I tried to decipher the world's truth, but with etymology. I tried to decipher the world's truth with religions. I tried to study the world's truth with seeing if there was demons and stuff and whatever it is and these books, and maybe it came to fruition, maybe they attacked me, maybe I've been falling ill to that stuff. We do believe in that stuff, but I digress. And I want you guys to understand, if you're able-bodied and you're not trying, you're missing out on so much in life. And you could spend this life just being lazy and saying fuck it, it is what it is. Well, go out there and try, brother. When you fall in love, I ask you to fall in love deeply. Go out there and be romantic. Go out there and do great things, because other people like me, I don't want to have a family where, like, the point of me getting a girl right now and then getting married and having kids, I only have 20 to 30 years to live. By the time my kids are 18, 20 years old, like, I'll be dead. And I think that's fucking horrible. I think that's fucking horrible to put on someone. It's horrible to put on your kids. So I'd rather abstain from that. You know what I mean? Abstain from getting a woman, abstain from experiencing love and stuff, and shut myself off from the world. But this isn't to say that love is impossible for me to experience. Love is impossible for me to feel and go out there and happen, because it's very random and that is the universe. And I do believe in twin flames, right? But it's just fucking wildly unfortunate, brother. So sometimes when I upload, I will be uploading videos in a manic episode or being sick or whatever it is you want to call it. I have schizoaffective disorder, so bipolar disorder and schizophrenia. It is what it is, brother, and you're gonna have to deal with it. If you're a subscriber of mine, I appreciate you for using your discernment, but I also want to reduce the stigma of what it's like to be mentally ill, what it's like to have bipolar disorder, or what it's like to be schizophrenic. All right, when I hallucinate, it's fucking crazy, guys. Like, I had a dream, a vision, that there was so much knowledge in all the universes that everything you create, whether it's a parallel or like a different reality, a different world, like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Transformers, whatever it is, all of that stuff is real. All of that stuff is real, and like it's like a real universe, a real world, and it's because there's so much fucking knowledge out there. But the way that it creeps into our world is that it comes through dreams and creativity and stuff, and then we make movies about it and we say, yeah man, give me this Oscar, give me this Grammy, give me this whatever. The movie was great, it was awesome. I wish it was true, and one day you'll come to learn, and that shit is real. And if you believe that there's so much information out there, there's so much knowledge out there, believe it. Believe that Pokemon is real. Believe that these other TV shows that you see on TV and stuff, believe that that could be a real reality, a real world. SpongeBob, why not? Why not just believe there's an underwater life that's like that? You know what I mean? Now, obviously, if things are too cartoony, it won't really fit the bill. You know, I'm pushing the edge with SpongeBob, but in a multiverse reality, if you've ever watched that show with Rick and Morty, where they travel to multiverse dimensions or universes and stuff, and they come across people that look like them, but they're in a different position of power, a different job, a different person, a different wife, a different this. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, and that's how big I believe the universe truly really is. So when I go into these episodes, like I start seeing visions and hallucinations and stuff, and I start like visualizing myself with these characters in this reality, and they start talking to me and stuff, and it's a very different type of view. Like, so sometimes I will talk to Kerrigan from StarCraft, and I see her fully visualized and like some crazy HD, like I should say it's beyond 3D. And then I question things about like the Supreme Brahmin and shit, and I'm like, bro, how the fuck did my mind draw this? And then I realized the mind can do so much complex things. They can shift your realities. They can do great shit, right? And we do have quantum shifting and stuff in Hinduism, but I'm just like, bro, we barely know anything about the mind, and to get an experience like this is fucking insane. It's insane. It's fucking crazy. I had experiences with Dragon Ball Z characters, Beerus. I had experiences with him. I had experiences with some Pokemon. The Pokemon weren't really talking and stuff. I had experience with the Naruto universe, right? Lady Sanity was paging me and stuff. That guy that wears that bucket hat, the green bucket hat. I forgot what his name was. I think it's Urahara or Uno or something like that. Crazy fucking shit. Crazy fucking shit, brother. But there's good and then there's bad. And each time there's always a story, and I was always intrigued by the story of my schizophrenia. But it's so ill-minded because it makes you want to stop taking your pills and explore what these stories could be. But I am not a kid, so I take my pills and I say, "Fuck it, we don't need this shit. We don't need this rubbish. We don't need this garbage." So I pack it up. I pack it up and I come back to reality. You know what I mean? I take my pills, whatever it is. I try to meditate, get it out the way, and usually after a few days it subsides. But man, it was fucking insane to see what the mind can do. And I believe people that are blind or deaf or they lose their vision, lose their sight, they lose their hearing or whatever it is, I believe they can still feel and hear that stuff. They can still see that stuff, but it's a little bit different. As we progress into society, I want you guys to understand that there will probably be a cure one day to my illness. Right now, the greatest drug that I have is risperidone. It does the job. It like eliminates the voices. It makes me calm. I'm not in a trance. I'm not seeing random shit. I'm able to be cognitive and coherent in my sentences. I'm able to be here in the moment. I'm able to be here, live here, embrace here. You know what I mean? But holy fuck, guys! I be telling you now, don't wish this shit upon yourself. Don't be like, oh my god, it's so cool, bro. You were in the Naruto universe. You were seeing Naruto, Sasuke. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was seeing all of them talking. They were talking to me and stuff about life and stuff. But it's just fucking weird. And sometimes these guys would become my enemies, and they'd be doing crazy shit to me, and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? What the fuck is going on? But the story has a mind of its own. So I don't know what the fuck is going on with me. I've always thought, maybe if I stopped taking my pills for months, I'm talking months, but it'd be torture on my family. But I'd have to do that at like a hospital or something. If I stopped taking pills for months, what would happen? And sometimes, bro, I'd be seeing demons and shit, and I'm like, you know what? It's not worth it. It's not fucking worth it. It's not fucking worth it at all. It's fucking crazy. So when people claim that they're mentally insane and like they go on these rampages and they kill people or whatever the fuck it is, uh, believe it like a little bit. Like I say, 10% believe it, and then study them and see how their mind works and see what's going on. See if they need pills and shit. Most people will confess to you. Most people will confess to you and say, "Oh well, this is what has happened to me. This is what's happened to me. I feel way better on the pills and stuff." Most people are good people, and you got to believe in the heart of man. And I believe a lot of mental health is fucking arising. We're smoking a lot of these random ass new drugs, fentanyl, weed, whatever it is. It's being synthesized in labs now and all this crazy ass shit. We don't know what the fuck's going on. We don't know what's going on, and you're playing with your life. So please stay sober. Stay sober. Um, they say at the age of 25 to 30 is when most people experience schizophrenia, for men at least. It is what it is, brother. It is what it is. Thank you for listening to my story.